So we're not a country yet, so the green card didn't exist. What I'm trying to prove here is she married him out of love. This is a true love story. There's nothing horrific about this space at all. So it's a place of respect. We'll see that in just a moment. But she was right. Dad didn't die right away, and instead he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. You guys familiar with indigo? Makes blue dye, or blue jeans blue. You guys both have it on right now. But when she got those seeds, she didn't know what the hell to do with it. She had to learn from the servants and slaves. They taught her how to keep it going in these weird temperatures that we're having. Then they taught her how to make the dye. Then they moved it to a cash crop down by the Stoner River. She got a hold of that overseas by letter and said the rice plantations are going downhill. We're going to make a killing with the indigo. And we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. So that's the boring business stuff of Eliza. Let's get into the weird stuff. I'm going to assign you questions, but what that means is that the answers can literally go anywhere. You're asking a question, my word generator might get the answer, the audio might get the answer, or the audio on my shoulder. So again, that's why you're going to tell me all the weird name counts and numbers that you're getting out of that, and I'll be writing them down like you're each. So I'm going to have you focus on Eliza's death. She's pretty open about talking about it. You can ask anything you want, but the four major answers that we get. Did that come from the spirit box or you? Okay, I'll write it down.
Thank you.
Age at time of death, what she died from, where she's buried, and which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Age, how, where, president. Those are your four majors. I'm going to stay focused on the mansion itself because it's not here. I already know what happened to it, but sometimes if we get to what happened, we often get 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that tragedy occurred. So very, very specific things that go on with this location. So I will also tell you that an average EMF reading from this base is between 18 to 22 milliamps. That is astronomical for any outdoor location that doesn't have electricity running through it. There's no electricity running through this base. So we'll talk more about EMF readings once I actually start getting any. But the only thing that I will ask you is do not ask anything further about her children if you don't mind. It usually stops all activity. Just because she doesn't like that parent code. So we just gotta leave that alone. So I'm gonna monitor my little devices. We kind of walk around. Just be mindful of the truck that just pulled up behind us with the super bright ass lights. And kind of see what we get out of this location. Now 18 and a miscarriage.
Okay.
I've tested everything out of this damn space.
Yeah, probably know every inch.
You come here about 200 times a year, you kind of know where the hell every pebble is.
Know where the potholes are.
When it rains, like these are full, and it really gives me an interesting reading on your camera.
I just keep thinking of her. Okay. And I heard one, and then something like you're here, and Taylor. And I didn't know if that was like a Taylor that did the work or the name Taylor, but it felt like Taylor did the work. Taylor.
Anything that you get from you personally, not the spirit box, I'm going to mark it as a report as next to each funnel, just so that you kind of can see the difference of what's going on there.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so excited to give you some. Anything that you're getting about this place? start getting really good at that, a lot of people use their thumbs to take notes.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
And I'll cherry pick it for what I feel is relevant. Anything weird going on your end? But
No,
really
until-
freaking cool to watch.
No, I was waiting for like a baby to walk up to her leg or something.
Oh, no.
Real quick, was there a take my life, like suicide type of thing? Yeah. Okay, they just said take my life. I didn't feel suicide, but I would like heard take my life. Okay. That was
Still
weird.
like a very odd phrase.
Yeah, it said take my life. That's exactly why I was like, that one's weird.
And that's the weird shit that you're looking for.
Yeah, that one hit.
Yeah, no suicides. Not out of this very prominent family that know every shit.
Yeah. I didn't feel it. I heard it.
These numbers are like ridiculously low.
Hmm?
We've only had one little tiny spike.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything yet.
Maybe the one. I heard one.
I know why you heard one.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
We're getting to that point.
Okay, sorry. Maybe it was the first one.
Her name would have popped up.
Okay.
Her name was Eliza Lamb Pinkney, like the animal, L-A-M-B.
Oh, yeah.
So Lamb and Lucas are the names that will pop up. If
Gotcha.
I think somebody asked. Oh, by the way, this wife married Charles at the age of 22. Chuck was 45.
Okay.
So a little creepy for me because I'm slightly over Chuck's age, and
Yeah.
my oldest daughter is slightly over. Slightly.
That's
yeah,
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So sometimes I have that 23-year age gap couple standing right in front of me, and it's a foot and mouth. I thought it was a father-daughter combo, and it's really, really
No
not.
way. Well, that does happen down here.
It does
I want to So 4 kids. Charles, you already know about him, signer of the Constitution. Next child is Thomas. We did get his name. He fought in the Revolutionary War battle. You can see why I was excited about the word uniform. I wanted something a little bit more in depth, but the Battle of Camden, he was shot in his left leg and captured by the British. So when they released him, he had a cane and a limp for the rest of his days, and he's pretty damn proud of it. So normally we hear things wrapped around that specific battle, and I want to say the anniversary of his death is actually coming up. I want to say it's the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not surprised. We got something from him a couple nights ago as well. So the next child is the reason I tell you don't ask questions about the kids. Baby George, he didn't make it. June of 1747, he was born, wasn't miscarried, but in the same month. His death certificate only reads June of 1747 in the birth and the death columns. So we don't know how old he was. So for years, I told you guys he was probably 2 weeks old because he has a name. You wouldn't name a child back then unless they were christened or baptized. Last year, I was doing research on another Pinckney family member, and I found a document that put dates to his birth and death. I was surprised, but it came from the UK, not the US. The UK says his birthday is the 14th, and his death date is the 29th. That's 15 days. I'm just bragging that my 2-week assessment was actually pretty spot on. So take that for what it's worth. Again, it's all about the research. George does not have a headstone. He does not have a grave. What happened to him? The church may have allowed the family to mummify him and keep him in a tomb right here in the home, waiting for mom to pass away so he could be buried with her. So, interesting thing, you said the word lonely, alone, several times. I will point out, and it's not a set of questions I throw out there, but only after 14 years of marriage is when Charles passed away, and Eliza lived for a very long time after that. So again, the alone piece of that could be part of why you were feeling that. Last child, her name was Harriet. She's the only daughter. I don't know how long you guys have lived here or how well you guys know our coast, but Horry County, that is Myrtle Beach. Harriet married Daniel Horry. So obviously she lived up in the Myrtle Beach area. So with that said, we don't hear from her much. And it's not a 2.5-hour car ride for Eliza to go see her daughter because there's no cars. So lots of letter writing. We'll get words like quill, ink, paper, parchment, those kind of things will pop up around Harriet. It's not very often. It's been years since I've heard from her, I'll be quite honest. Eliza.
Gotcha.
Throw the spirit box in a pocket if you have one.
Yes.
And it'll keep recording so we can listen to it later.
Awesome.
You might want to take those headphones off, but hand me the end where it plugs in. You'll see why I did that. Go ahead and put them on slowly. Wherever you point the microphone is where you get the most sound. Makes sense. That's because most people don't want to hear their own voice like that. So, let's kind of get into, you guys already know the basic gist, but there's a couple of things about this alley you guys probably didn't know. This was called Dueller's Alley, as you already know, but it's Philadelphia Alley now. We're going to talk about, obviously, the very quick and short, different, I guess, version of the story that I tell, just because of, we're ghost hunting. Son of a bitch, I didn't even do it tonight. So, funny story. I have the word green on here. Every night, well not every night, my bigger groups, I always have a colored flashlight with me. So at Eliza's place, I always display blue, and I keep it a secret with one guest. And then I tell them at the next location, it's a story of envy. So we're going to switch it to green. And then later, we're going to talk about a bloody story, and we're going to switch it to red.
I love that.
So, he gave us the word green tonight, and it actually says late. It is really, really funny.
That is funny.
But the little bastard, he's such a smart ass. I can't believe he actually gave us the word green on a night that we didn't actually do it. So every ghost tour comes here, but oh, and by the way, go ahead. Yeah, we're not. This is what we would call a live EVP session.
Okay.
But as you guys already know the story, we're not listening for a voice here. Yeah, you might want to stop whistling because I'm going to count those as points. I just had to mark those to make sure that, it wasn't the real deal. But obviously you guys know that we're listening for whistles here. So that's why we're using the crazy frog fart here in voice recorder, because you can hear a frog fart from a mile away on that guy. It's pretty ridiculous. That's why we use it. So, quick short version of the story. Doctor moves here from Rhode Island. Name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. I said his name slowly because if we get the song Brown Eyed Girl on your spirit box while we're here, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. Moving on. Doc moves here because he's supposed to get married. You guys remember the name of the fiance?
Mm-mm.
Amanda. She just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents, and she has an attorney helping her out with all of the cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. He comes here to Charleston to prove that he's not. On his way into town, he had a coachman that set him up to be robbed and killed. Not a very good start to his stay here, but somebody was walking by, and the person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Let's point something out. What are Ralph's initials?
R.I.
Where's the doctor from?
Rhode Island.
Sometimes we'll get the letters R.I. on different devices. We need to know who it belongs to. Secondary clue. So, moving on. Ralph tells the doc, hey dude, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Let's go to 59 Church Street where I have some friends. They'll rent you a room. And the number 59 shows up here quite often as well. So, doc took him up on the offer. The two gentlemen become friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. Proving his point, he's not after Amanda's cash. He's making his own with his medical practice. So, she wrote him a letter because she got wind of this and said, I'm going to move to Charleston so we could be married there. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. So every ghost tour, by the way, will tell their guests to listen for the whistles with their own ears, as you guys already know. We have 2 voice recorders running, plus the audio from the camera. If we're going to get a whistle, it's going to show up on one of those 3 major devices. However, one last point before I get into part 2 of the tale, your spirit box. I can't tell you how many times that I spot check it, and I hear the whistling part of a song, and then I get the word doctor from a commercial immediately after. It happens all the time. Dozens upon dozens per year.
Really?
Really.
That's cool.
Part 2. He thought of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Doc saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Jeweller's Alley. Somebody's going to die. All this over an actress, pointing out how dumb shit was in the 1780s. Not that it wouldn't carry over in today's world, but you see the point. Anyway, the 2 gents came down here, back to back, took 10 paces away from each other. They turned, and Doc pointed his gun in the air and shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just needed the courage to show up. That's often what happens at a duel, by the way. Ralph has his 1 bullet. Do you remember where he shot the doctor?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's a really good part of the story. So it didn't kill the doctor. So where would he shoot him?
Leg.
We're at in the leg. Be very specific.
The kneecap.
The kneecap, exactly.
Oh,
that's a harsh shot.
Oh.
So Doc fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he did die 10 days later, November 2nd, which is coming up, 1786. So a couple of things. He refused medical treatment, and he did that because it's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different.
Gangrene.
Yeah. Secondly, he's a doctor. He just thought he had lead poisoning.
Yeah.
He tried to bleed it out himself. But obviously he failed because he died. Anybody ever tell you how old this guy was when that happened?
Mm-mm.
Take a guess. Come on.
52.
36.
Love the age game. 22.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, real little.
Yeah,
Young doctor.
Well, he
Little.
started his apprenticeship into medicine when he was like 13, 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Well, you got to remember the times too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy was just reading books, and mom and dad said, "Oh, you're gonna go apprentice with Dr. Joe, and go see what the hell happens." We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where he went. So, so that's basically the gist of the tale. Let's talk about how I got my ass kicked out of here, because that's the fun part. So, this deals with a lot of the zoning that goes on here in the city. So, first off, I need to point out that there used to be a wall about halfway between us and Cumberland Street, the way we came in. And the wall was there because going further back in time, this was called Cow Alley. This is where they kept all the livestock for the city. Cows, goats, and chickens are down here. That's actually one of the major purposes of why they kept the alley around to begin with. A lot of ghost tour guides will tell you that it was Kinloch's Court, and they're not wrong, but the more interesting history comes from Cow Alley. Anyway, the bricks down on the other side are older than the bricks we're standing on, and those are sun-dried bricks from slave children down there at the end by Queen Street. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there. I'm sure you guys have heard about the handprints around town, because there's only 3 places that have them. This alley is one of them. I think the other one is at
I've actually
Drayton.
never heard about that.
Me either.
Yeah, Drayton Hall, here, and I'm trying to remember, there's a wall somewhere. But at any rate, so the handprint is very small. You can see that it's from a child. And when they laid the bricks, they accidentally laid it face up, so you can actually see it. I used to take my groups down there for a history lesson. Again, they're tourists, they're not from here, and anything dealing with slavery at that point, they're fascinated with. But there's nothing paranormal about the brick. You already know how I feel about cemeteries. That kid's not there.
Right.
So, November 26, 2020. Took my entire group of 8 to 10 people down there that I had, and they all huddled around the damn brick waiting for something to happen with the equipment. I know nothing's going to happen because he's not there. We're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying not to piss this guy off while he's trying to eat his dinner. My 14-year-old daughter was on the tour that night. She thought it was hysterical when the owner came out laughing or like screaming at me, like just letting me have it. And I'm not a licensed tour guide, right?
Yeah.
So he wanted my license and all that crap, and we just moved on. Oh yeah, it was nasty. And my tour group like let him have it too. It was during COVID days, and they're yelling at him about his mask. Like they really got my back on that one. But anyway, moving forward, the next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on holidays, especially Thanksgiving. Before I started doing this, I was in upper management for Walmart. You guys fight over towels on Thanksgiving. You scarred me for life. I don't do holidays. I don't even tour on Halloween. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I bet that's.
Well, the expectation is like ridiculous. People expect me to just make shit happen.
Yeah.
So I just don't do Halloween anymore. That's my favorite holiday. I'm going to take it off.
Yep.
So the next thing. The dates are important, by the way. November 28th. I called the partner that I had at the time that I was working with, and just to figure out what to do. I was so new at this. And he's laughing when he picked up the phone, and he already got the city complaint. He's like, you're not allowed to go down that far. It's residential. Figure it out. And he hung up. So I was like, shit. So I scrambled. That night, I told my team, guys, we got to go out this way. And the place we're going to next, I've never had anything happen with my equipment there, and I've been there dozens of times. And I'm into vampires, not pirates. I would normally tell you a pirate story next, but we've been kicked out of there too. But if I tell you we're going to discuss pirates in Charleston, who do you think we're going to talk about?
Blackbeard.
Most people say Blackbeard, and you'd be incorrect. Somebody heard the name Anne coming out of Spirit Box before we left. I didn't tell them it was going to be Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. I was like, oh shit, maybe we'll get something. We took them around the corner. I told them what I knew about pirates in Charleston. Not my thing, by the way, at the time. And somebody else heard the number 300. I have no idea what it means. I wrote it down. I researched it. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720.
Holy shit.
Exact 300th anniversary of her
So
pirate trial.
cool.
Yeah. So now I'm like the super expert on pirates and yada yada, and we're not even allowed over there anymore. So why am I telling you all this shit? We're gonna be right next door to it. Bleed over does occur. So hopefully sometimes Anne Bonny and her friends like to come over and say hello. Now, the other thing about this whole piracy bit is, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but I was actually pissed off when I discovered what was going on because it's pirates. Pirate stores, all of my degrees are in English and writing and yada yada yada. So I'm not bragging about the education, I'm bragging about how much I love to research. The problem with pirates is that the only things we have about pirates that are written down were 100 years after the days of Blackbeard and Anne Bonny. That's 100 years of grapevine effect before somebody wrote a fantasy tale about it, and then 200 years later we have Jack Sparrow on Disney Channel. So that was a problem for me until I really started diving in. Most of the library of books that I have now, yeah, that's like uncanny.
Jesus.
Bam!
I was just going to tell you the bells are going to go off again because I could hear them. I felt like I heard them coming. Sorry, I was
No.
like, that's why I was
The
like,
fact that you scream Jesus when we're near the church.
hey.
Now, the funny thing is normally if the spirit box is running, because if I have a larger group, only one person gets that thing.
Right.
So most people will start to hear religious terms as we start to get closer to our tallest steeple.
Oh,
And I
wow.
tell them, like, I'm not writing it down. It's that common. Like the Bible, pew, priest, like all of the things,
Yeah.
about religion. And I'm like, I'm not writing it down. And it's not like they even know where we're at. Like they might catch a glimpse of it
Right.
while we're down this alley, but they don't know. It's something so common. I just stopped writing it down. So, what's going to happen from here? Eric, did you want to hear this crazy voice recorder before I pack it up? Because it's
Sure,
the
I'll
only
try it.
place. There you go.
Maybe that.
And I just place all those little videos together, and I make one video per camera, and they're in sequential order, so kind of have an idea of what's what. You want to try to keep the sky out of view.
Yeah, I was trying to
That's
figure
so
out.
low, like normal height.
So, a few, I don't know, probably 2 months ago at this point, one of the best pieces I ever caught on the camera was actually right here.
Really?
Yep. So what happened is there was a heat anomaly moving across that side of the alley, and heat anomalies don't normally move. So when it got out of the way, there was a full, like, blackened figure standing at the end of the alley wearing a long coat, like a doctor.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. And I had it verified by a fireman that was on the tour the next day. I just handed him the footage, and I said, you tell me what you see.
Wow. That's so cool.
There's something going off in the background. I can hear it.
Can you hear that?
Yeah. But I want to point it out because it sounds like an alarm.
Yeah, I thought I heard bells coming out again.
I can still hear it.
Yeah. Come on, man.
The EMF down here isn't normally a hard find. That's why I'm not focused on it.
How long have you been doing it here?
Tours for 6 years. But I've been investigating actively for 15, but researching and writing about it for about 25.
Cool.
So, a little bit of experience.
Yeah, a little bit.
But the almanac is really where I think, like even when I get to Pittsburgh, I'm only going to be able to do this on the weekends.
Yeah.
In the warmer months because of my day job. And I did take a Monday through Friday 7 to 5 job.
What are you going to do?
I'll be running a paint store, of all things. Basically filling orders for construction companies. But there's a retail shop for regular retail customers for paint supplies. So, just...
Something.
Yep, I got 2 employees.
There you
I'm
go.
Good.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Oh, it pays, like, super great. Like, I couldn't pass it away.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's why I always feel like the universe does support those that are doing the work. You'll be okay. You'll have more exposure up there anyways.
I think so. I'm going to overly advertise because...
I really hope you get a show. Like
no,
Cindy.
I don't want a show.
You don't want a show? You don't want to be on a show?
No. I'd rather be known for the data that I'm collecting and doing the repetitive work over and over and over again. So even in the winter months, I have 2 or 3 spots near my father-in-law that he's going to go with me. He's my biggest fan. That we're going to consistently go back and go back and go back to see patterns and start to learn more about the space. And I'll show him the process of how do you research it and let the ghost tell you what it's...
fun.
Yeah. So with that data and my partner in California, he's working with David Omen out there right now where the Manson murders occurred.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing tours out there. And
did you watch Mindhunters on Netflix?
Mindhunters.
Fascinating. It's like from the 70s when they started, like, they didn't even know what a serial killer was until they started, like, they interviewed Manson and all this.
Oh. See, that's normally not my forte.
Okay, it was just really crazy. There was a blip. Big old blip.
Blip? Blip how? Like it flickered or?
Like this half just completely like blipped out and then back in, like in a weird way.
Was it white?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I just have to remember.
I just have to look for the
at
blip.
That was a big blip.
But he's doing a scavenger hunt under a place called Suicide Bridge, which he has 125 ghosts under there.
Holy shit.
And he has like his own little database of all the research he's done. But he's looking for that repetitive data because he's using my scoring system.
But don't you think that's why you need, not a show, but like you need to be heard, you need to be, what you're doing needs to be publicized more.
It is.
More.
Well, the team of 9 writers that I have, they're either paranormal investigators or they're an expert in their field.
Good.
So, like, I have somebody who works on people that have had NDEs. Like, she's a psychologist, trained, and she's writing me an article for that. So my wife works with dogs and animals, so she'll be writing an article on the way dogs see based off the cones of their eyes, and why dogs have the possibility of seeing ghosts, of seeing into the EMF field further than we can. My partner is writing a piece on UV ray lighting because we're doing calculations of how much moon is showing. And yeah, he's got this whole theory. Like, but my moon phase study is really where this started. I was studying the moon phases, and a new moon actually gives you more activity than a full moon.
We have one today.
I know. I already have it noted in my notebook.
But I don't know why there's not much going on today.
We're probably just missing it.
Think so?
I've seen light nights like this turn into holy shit nights when I go through the data.
Really?
Yeah.
You hear a ton of shit on this mic.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, every once in a while you'll hear like a woo or something like what's that? It's more like
we had some
wind
we had some moans here.
It definitely sounds like I heard like a woo a couple times, but you can't tell if it's like a scooter or a motorcycle or like a...
And I'll be able to, if I find it, it'll be in
that noise.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm hearing.
You have to hurt to plug back into our spirit
Almost
box.
sounds like a weed eater.
Okay.
But that noise.
I got you.
Hear it?
Yeah.
I think that's what I was hearing.
My spirit box is in my butt.
Is that where you keep it?